Hey, what's up? Time for my pre-fight breakdown for UFC 253 late night edition. It's like 10:30 Eastern on Wednesday when I'm actually recording this. So busy these days, so I don't have the time to do it when I normally would. So getting it done for you guys and gals, I appreciate you. For those who are wondering about my SiriusXM show, tomorrow, on Friday, not tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, we're doing a pre-fight UFC 253 show. Me, Anthony Smith, and Misha Tate go to SiriusXM/UFC 253 and sign up. And you can join the Zoom meeting and ask us questions and be part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's an hour-long sit-down with me, Anthony Smith, and Misha Tate talking about UFC 253 for an hour. So you can jump on, ask us questions, really be part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out if you can. Once again, SiriusXM.com/UFC 253. Come check it out. Let's start at the bottom of the card with UFC 253, and it's Hakeem Dawodu versus Zubaira Tukhugov. When I look at Dawodu's style, one thing that really impresses me, if you look at, for example, his fight with Poirier, he is just solid. Solid Muay Thai. Doesn't give up anything stupid, good defensively, good offensively. And what I liked in that fight is Poirier started out fast. Quick, good angles, some unorthodox attack, and was winning the early rounds. And then Dawodu just stayed with it, stayed strong, started wearing him down, started landing, ended up knocking him out with a head kick. I love that composure. I really enjoy seeing that on the feet, and I think he's going to need it in this fight. The problem I have with Tukhugov is he was part of the whole Khabib-Conor brawl, had to serve a suspension, had a lot of years off. So it's still kind of up in the air what he can do. But, man, when you see him at his best, the dude has real power. We saw that against Kevin Aguilar. That was a brutal knockout, first round. The guy has real power. So the issue to me is, if you look at Dawodu, sometimes he starts late. Sometimes he doesn't get rolling early. Tukhugov has really nice knockout power early on in fights, right? We saw it against Chavez. We saw it against Aguilar. He can get it done early. But Dawodu has been more consistent recently. He hasn't had the time off. So is it kind of the stability and the technique, the soundness of Dawodu's offense and defense versus the raw power of Tukhugov? It's very close, but I'm going with Tukhugov on this one. I think he gets it done. I think he does make him feel the power early, knocks him out first or second round. I think it's going to be comparatively early. I could be influenced by just how well Eastern European fighters are doing right now, but I'm going to go with Tukhugov by knockout to open up the card. Ketlen Vieira versus Sijara Eubanks. When you look at Vieira's style, she does the same thing over and over. It's this loopy left hand and a straight right, loopy left hand, straight right, and she kind of throws this combination over and over until she gets it and knocks you out, or you get her and knock her out. Now, most of the time it works out, but in the Reno Aldana fight, she got clipped with a left hook of Aldana's and just knocked her out, and that was it. But before, for like the Kat Zingano fight, it was like boom, 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 boom. She keeps just going for it incessantly until she backs you up. Doesn't have a great defense, doesn't really move her chin, not great footwork, kind of loopy with her punches, but it's like she throws with power so often that she just knows she's going to get you eventually, or wear you down, or back you up. She has a superior ground game to Sijara Eubanks. The issue in this fight for me is a slick boxer, I think, takes care of Ketlen Vieira probably pretty easily. The problem is Sijara Eubanks does have the boxing. I don't know if she has the size or the power. She's moving up in weight class. Does she really have the power to get it done? She does have the boxing to kind of make her life miserable, but can she step forward and hurt somebody who's big, comes forward with confidence, and has the superior ground game? And has good range. She does. One thing about that loopy shot, you can get inside of it, but she tends to throw it from way outside, and that's kind of like her way in. And she's rangy, and she makes it work. So once again, it's almost like a power versus technique kind of thing. I think Sijara Eubanks has the tighter boxing, but can she keep from getting bullied around by Ketlen Vieira? I think Ketlen Vieira comes back strong and maybe a little bit more conservative, changing up that offense a little bit and making it more of a ground game, which she has the superior jiu-jitsu. I go with Ketlen Vieira probably by decision. I think she's a little too big, she's a little too physical, and a little too much on the ground for Sijara Eubanks. So she gets it done probably by decision, just based on the weight class. You don't see a whole lot of finishes. Kai Kara-France versus Brandon Royval. If you look at the Tim Elliott fight, for Brandon Royval, it was like all over the place. It was just Brandon Royval took him down. Tim Elliott took him down early, and then he got on top, and they kept switching positions and all this crazy stuff. And Royval has this stand-up style that is hands down, sideways karate style, throws a lot of goofy stuff. Powerful. I'm not disrespecting the guy's power, but it's from funky angles, a lot of stance switches, a lot of risk-taking, loves dropping his hands. And as I pointed out, on the ground, it was a lot of transitions. And transitions aren't bad if you're good at them, but the difference between great jiu-jitsu and good jiu-jitsu is Damian Maia gets a position on you, it's done. Bye-bye. You're never getting... He doesn't get these wild, crazy scrambles, and he doesn't do that. Once he's on you, it's like, where did this truck come from, and why won't it get off my chest? It's that ability to hold position when you get it, and it's good to not let it go. And if you look at like a Kron Gracie, Damian Maia, Jacare, Gilbert Burns, once they get you in bad position, that you're done. They're not letting you out again. And so what I saw over and over in that fight is bad position, get out. Bad position, escape. Bad position again. And then Brandon Royval just made a turn at the right time from the back and got the arm triangle choke on Tim Elliott and finished him. Great stuff, but constantly switching around, which against a guy with Kai Kara-France, who's from City Kickboxing, what I like about him is he is quick, but everybody at 125 is quick. His technique is good. You know, he relies on his ability to have sound fundamentals, like everybody from City Kickboxing. It's sound fundamentals that wear you down. That's what he does. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, nice tight combinations, accurate with his strikes, doesn't get caught up in any brawls. That's what he's great at. And so what concerns me most isn't necessarily Brandon Royval's abilities on the ground as much as the risk-taking on the feet. We saw it with Volkanovski versus Holloway, where Holloway was kind of doing this wild stuff, and Volkanovski just tight, solid, wouldn't give him any way in. And when he answered back, there were nice tight combinations that were very, very accurate. I think that's what Kai Kara-France brings to this fight. I think he's too much on the feet for Royval. There are not a lot of finishes, and Kai Kara-France isn't a great finisher, so I got to go by decision, but I'm going with Kai Kara-France on that one. Pretty easy. Dominic Reyes versus Jan Blachowicz. It's not about, to me, Jan Blachowicz not being a great fighter, because I do think he's a great fighter. It's that I really think Dominic Reyes looks great. Yeah, he's coming off the knockout win over Corey Anderson, but Jacare, that was a lackluster fight, to say the least. Luke Rockhold, a puffed-up 185er, I think, who's off a cliff and at the end of his run. So I do like the Corey Anderson knockout, but I think we learned more from the two previous fights. Very, very close against Jacare, and oh, man, that was hard to watch. And then the knockout of Luke Rockhold, he's taking on guys who don't have the physical abilities of a Dominic Reyes. Dominic Reyes has real short-range power, real speed, versatility. I thought he beat John Jones. I thought he won the first 3 rounds of that fight. And I think he wins this fight for the same reasons, where he's powerful. He got a great fighter, an all-time great, John Jones, backing up. His right hand is incredibly quick. He's aggressive, and he's well-rounded. You're not going to take him to the ground and punk him. I think Blachowicz has a superior, probably, ground game. But he's not a fantastic wrestler. He's not great at taking guys to the mat. So it's not as though that's in his back pocket, and anytime he wants, he can take Reyes down. He can't do that. I think Reyes can get back to his feet when he wants to, and on the feet, I just think he's the sharper boxer with more power, and he has a lot of physical gifts, real speed. Blachowicz is more experienced, and there's a chance he might do what John Jones did, which is have trouble with Reyes early, and then 3rd, 4th, 5th round kind of try and pull away. I thought John Jones did pull away in the 4th and 5th round. I didn't give him 3 rounds. I only gave him 2. So there might be a similar situation where Reyes starts out strong, banks 3 rounds, and has to hang on at the end. That's certainly possible, but I think he can do that. So it's not a matter of me thinking Jan Blachowicz is a bad fighter. He's not. I think he's an excellent fighter. I really think Dominic Reyes is the best at 205 right now. He has all the physical gifts, a ton of confidence, and I think those come together in this fight. This is the opportunity he really wanted. I got to go with Dominic Reyes. Good chance once again that it's by decision. I think a lot of these go the distance. So Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. I just think Paulo Costa and Israel Adesanya, I called his debut in the UFC in Perth, Australia. He opened up the main card, if I'm not mistaken. Dude just came in with swagger, man. Confidence. And he's one of the few fighters to come in with real juice of what he accomplished in kickboxing. A lot of people were interested in watching him. Great counterpuncher, super accurate. deceptive power. A lot of people don't realize how hard he hits until he hits you. I just think Paulo Costa, as great as he is, and he is great, and when the physical specimen he is, he just swings wide. He's aggressive. All the talk about he's not going to chase around Israel Adesanya, I don't buy that. I mean, I don't mean he'll chase him down in a reckless way, but he's got to be the aggressor. He's going to try and cut off the octagon. He's going to try and bring physical pressure. And I think that plays right to Israel Adesanya's strengths. One of the reasons the Yoel Romero fight was such a snoozer, and Israel Adesanya, let's face it, didn't look good at all, is because Yoel Romero made him initiate. Just kind of stood there for a lot of the fight, made him come at him, and tried to counter. He's explosive enough to get away with it. But Israel Adesanya is great when people come at him and give him opportunities. I think that's exactly what Paulo Costa is going to do. Sure, he might land some, and if he really works the body well early, I think that's his best bet. Go after the ribs early. You talk about his physique and how he's skinny and he's not big and all that stuff. Look, anybody can get dropped by a right hand. It's when you start hitting the body and working the ribs, and that's when frame really becomes an issue. Guys with bigger frames can just take more of the body. Israel Adesanya doesn't have that kind of frame. He's an outside striker who relies on his accuracy. So yeah, if he works the body early, that would be a big sign that he's going to have some success. I don't see that happening. I see him going after Israel Adesanya early, and Israel's going to do what Israel does, which is pick him apart and find the opportunities. If he gets a knockout, I think it's going to be late, 4th and 5th round. I don't know if Paulo Costa is built for a 5-round fight. We'll see. But I go Israel Adesanya probably by late knockout. All right, so appreciate you, and I will be back after the fight to own all my hits and misses. But if you want to hear me, SiriusXM, every day 1 to 3. All right, unlocking the cage. I'm there for you guys. See you soon.